Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I am Evil Mike, and I got a review for you. This is from Boom Studios. This House of Slaughter #1, a big one that everybody's been waiting for, me included. Let's get into the who's, why's, what's, and where's, right? We got story by James Tynion IV and Tate Brombal. We got script by Tate Brombal, and we got art by Chris Shehan, or Shehan. And then we got colors by Miquel, Muerto, and letters by Andworld Design. First off, this is basically, if you were able to get the Enter the House of Slaughter, the free comic book day comic that came out recently, that is the first 4 pages of this book, or first 5, something like that. And if you didn't get it, guess what? This is the first 4 or 5 pages of this book. This is the first spin-off or branch off from Something is Killing the Children. So you would have to know most of the story that is going on with the first 20 issues of Something is Killing the Children. It's not something that I believe that you could pick up as a one-off and not know the rest of the story. I mean, for the most part you can, but there would be some things that wouldn't make any sense. But I believe you can still read it without, knowing those things. You would just be out of the know for a little bit, I guess you would say. But this is, like I said before, and on the front cover, this is the spin-off and a direct storyline to, Aaron Slaughter, and it's one of Erica's teammates being a black mask, just like she is. We have seen Aaron Slaughter throughout the main series, but here and there, and he always comes off as timid or scared, which is really weird for the Black Mask, because the Black Mask, we found out on the later issues, are the ones that go after some of the more dangerous monsters, right? So a lot of that's what this issue is building up into, because Aaron, we've already seen, he is a badass, and he wears a black mask for a reason, right? So they do show, they start off this book, and it's Aaron, and he's hunting, it looks like this deer. He is out on a mission. He does end up, he's not, shortly after you do find out that he is not hunting the deer, but he is being hunted by other members of the House of Slaughter, and he kind of, because it is set up in a flashback, actually I kind of messed up, but in the beginning it's shown like a back and forth story of what he's going through, but they're showing us the present, and they only touch on the present a couple times in this comic, and for the most part it's all flashback because it's all build up of his character. But in the very first couple of scenes, you're seeing both a montage of past and present, and he's basically like hunting the deer and stuff, and you find out he's not being hunted by the deer, he's being hunted by a bunch of white masks from the House of Slaughter, and this is just a training exercise, basically, who kills who wins type situation. And the second the 3 white mask girls approach Aaron, they basically state that they're kind of like mad that they even have to do this exercise with him, because he's such a pushover type thing, and they end up like beating him a little bit. And he kind of turns the tables really side, and we get to see a different side of Aaron, because he kind of mentions he does take a couple hits to like the head and the shoulder or something like that, and as soon as he gets them to where he needs them to be, he's like, haha, just move it a little bit to the left, and bam, he does, and they show he entraps the 3 girls. They show right here where he's, encasing them in a snare, and he does all kind of like hog tie all 3 of the girls, and basically he thought that was it. Before he can even like state that he even won, one of the ropes ends up breaking, and the white mask ends up getting free, coming after Aaron, and Cecilia and I think her name is Jessica, they end up stopping the training simulation, deeming Aaron, to be the loser in that training situation, because he didn't successfully kill the 3 girls. He wasn't supposed to kill them, but it was supposed to be like a thing where they couldn't get released type thing, and if that was a monster, he would have got killed type of thing. There is a back and forth conversation between Cecilia being like a white mask leader, and Jessica being one of the black mask leaders, and and who's better than who and stuff like that. We do get into the main, what the arc is going to be called, and it is called The Butcher's Mark, and that's kind of the future, or I would say present parts of the story, is the the butcher's mark part. They do go like back into the present or future storyline, I guess you could say, and they do show like his familiar with the little owl over here, and you know, they just show that he's coming across a scene like a house, and it looks like a monster has already, you know, got to the house and you know, killed the whole family. A little boy does ride up, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's too late." You know, he was like, "I should have." You know, nobody believed me. I hope Charlie's okay. And then he kind of takes off on his bike, and that's where the kind of future thing ends, or the present day, you know. But it jumps back to the flashback, and it's just, you know, Jessica trying to like talk to Aaron and kind of butter him up a little bit after he lost out in that training, you know, simulation, and she's just kind of stating that no one starts out good, and it takes practice, you know, just keep trying type of thing. The more you do it, the more you're going to gain your experience. And he makes other valid things like, well, Erica didn't have to do this, and they didn't have to do this, and everybody's different, right? And that's kind of what she kind of keeps implementing to Aaron. But like I said, it was a butter up situation, because they start showing these scenes of another member of the House of Slaughter, and they just show, like, I know they're not really like verbal things that I can mention, when they show them like walking into a house. They show a scene with like some red blood going on, you know, the house caught on fire. They show a ring, they show it's a lot of conjumbled stuff, but basically they're showing us another member. As this is going on, like I mentioned, she's buttering him up. It's because he's losing his single occupancy room, and now he's getting a roommate, and that's kind of why she was buttering him up, you know, because he has had like his own room, I guess, since Erica left or something like that. Another big thing is that this member is a white mass member in the House of Slaughter. They don't bunk different, you know, mass groups together, and so Aaron instantly finds this to be weird. And the new kid in the white mask, he doesn't really say anything, you know. He's like, I mean, these are the rules, this is what they did kind of thing, I'm just following rules. And, you know, he doesn't say too much. He doesn't come off like mean or anything. He's just very like, you know, kind of stale and expressionless kind of. But Jessica asked Aaron to give the new kid a tour of this house, because you do find out that he is from a different House of Slaughter. Like, this one is the House of Slaughter, but maybe the house he is from is the House of Peppercorns, or I don't know, but he is from another house that's supposedly in Louisiana, and something happened and he has come to the House of Slaughter. So Aaron is asked to give this tour, and they show him like walking all around, you know, the house, and there is like a couple scenes that they came across like, whoa, that's weird, you know. And they do show this one room where like people are seemingly defying gravity. They almost look like vampires kind of thing, because they're hanging from the ceiling or walking from the ceiling type thing. So there is like a magical side to things maybe in the house that they haven't shown us before. Eventually Aaron comes to a stairway. It's like a corridor and a stairway that leads up to we know where the dragon resides, like the highest member of the House of Slaughter, the man with the metal mask that they've shown us before, that has recently had the conversation with Erica in the last issue. And basically the new guy states that, you know, that Aaron's like, yeah, we can't go up there, it's off limits, and the new guy is like, hey, you know, I kind of want to go up there and see this dragon. I've heard a lot of stuff about him. I just want to see him. You know, do you mind if we go up there? And he does end up talking / tricking, you know, Aaron to going up there, even though it's extremely off limits. So he does go up there, and they do hear a conversation between, and I think it's like Jessica, Cecilia, and the dragon. And basically, I think they are talking about Erica, and they're talking about the new member that just became his roommate. While this is going on, they do show like a weird scene where the dragon does show that he is kind of all powerful, and he does know that they are there, like secretly listening to them. And he basically, at that point, he stops the conversation, instantly when this happens, we see that those same white masked girls that were in the training exercise with Aaron earlier have somehow found out that they're in the corridor and everything, and they're going to beat the crap out of Aaron and this new roommate because they're breaking rules and this kind of stuff. They go to attack Aaron, and out of my surprise, and maybe a lot of other people, but the white mask guy comes to Aaron's defense, stating that you're not going to attack my roommate, regardless of what you got going. If it is, you're going to attack me too. He does like pull down his mask to reveal that he's got like massive scars and stuff down his face, and the white mask, they kind of like, oh, okay, and they end up, getting scared and they end up leaving. The book does jump back to a present scene, and we kind of get a little more into what the rest of the story is going in. And he's kind of, the whole comic he's been talking about monsters and stuff like that. And of course, if you're reading this book, you know that monsters exist in this world, and we just got opened up to other things, that there are dragons, like real dragons and vampires and that kind of stuff in this world too. So, with all that being said, he's talking about different monsters, and it looks like this is going to be Aaron's first mission. It looks like hunting down the guy that was his roommate, stating that he did something really, really bad, and this guy is a monster. And the guy's name was Jace, and they call him the Last Butcher. Hint, the story, the butcher's note. But it says, "It is the first man I ever loved, and this is how I killed him." And it's basically, it looks like that's what's going to be this story about how he became, friends with his roommate and stuff like that, and even grew to love him, whether it was, on a romance level or as friends and brothers. They haven't established that yet, but evidently that he's going to hunt down and kill this guy, Jace the Butcher or something like that. But for an overall first issue, I thought it was excellent. It's a great first issue. It's got enough mystery and intrigue to keep me going on to the next one. I'm heavily looking forward to it, and I don't think they're going to disappoint at this point in the stage. Hey, but that's my review. Did you pick it up? Did you like it? Are you looking forward to it? Let me hear your thoughts. Do you hate it? All those thoughts. And don't be shy. I don't hate on stuff. I invite conversation regardless if our opinions don't match up or, stuff like that. Conversation and engagement, right? That's what we're here for. But that's my review, and I will see y'all soon. Bye, guys.